Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia. Now this, like the Philly cheesesteak, is a snack that, or a dish that, even though I'm from the UK, I've heard it mentioned in so many shows like Friends, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I've just heard Philly cheesecake mentioned, Philly cheesesteak. So I've always wondered, like, what is it exactly? Is it literally a steak with some cheese in a roll, or is it just a steak and cheese? Like, what is it? Like, why are they so tasty? And this place here, you know, apparently it has the best one in Philadelphia. So I need to see what it's all about. So let's do it. What is that? Mincemeat. Oh, I see. Oh my god! I bet those onions give the meat like that nice caramelized flavor.
We don't need to film anymore. This is my favorite. Hi guys, I'm Karen.
Hey, I'm Emily.
Tomorrow we are going to Philadelphia in search of the best Philly cheesesteak.
For those of you who don't know what a Philly cheesesteak is, it's basically an iconic sandwich from Philadelphia.
So generally speaking, a Philly cheesesteak is a roll, and in the roll is thin slices of beef or steak and cheese. Options of...
Oh god. Like I've just come back from the gym. I need something like that with some meat in it.
Toppings include onions, so that's totally up to you.
We asked you on Snapchat to vote for your favorite Philly cheesesteak, and we're headed there to figure out what our favorite is.
4 different cheesesteaks, 4 different places. Let's see which one tastes the best.
Let's go. First stop, John's Roast Pork. So why is John's Roast Pork your favorite Philly cheesesteak place?
It's my favorite because you get the most steak, you get like the best cheese, you get the most out of it.
Yeah, like that's what I would like as well. You gotta have a good amount of meat in there. Good amount of meat.
This is John. He's the 3rd generation owner of the restaurant.
What's the first one we should get?
I think you should just go to straight classic American cheese and onions.
So the purest is
American and onions.
What's in here? American and onions.
Yeah, we don't use cheese.
John believes simplicity is key when it comes to a great cheesesteak. He uses thinly sliced steak and chopped onions as his base.
The restaurant's called John's Roast Pork. Like, you guys are equally famous for your
Wow, man, he was chopping that steak up so quick.
It only happened in the last 10 years. Around 2001, we were written up by Craig Levan of the Inquirer as having the best cheesesteaks. You know, ever since then, it's been crazy.
An important little detail, John scoops out some bread from the fresh roll.
To make space. That is smart.
People ask me, like, why is your sandwich different than any of the others? And the reason why is, like, we cook everything fresh. You won't come here and get your sandwich right away. We cook everything individually.
It's like the size of an infant.
Man, that thing is thick.
Truly
Girthy.
is like opening a present.
Woo!
That's gonna be the best bite right there.
You ready for the first bite?
Ow.
I'm ready for the first bite. The thing I like most about this cheesesteak is that the American cheese and beef are like piping hot and like kind of like congealed together.
My initial thoughts are that I watched Karen eat this first and I'm drooling. I'm so ready to try this. Oh, dude. Having one of those moments where it's like, there is nothing better than some great food. Like, that's just the greatest feeling in the world, to bite into something this good. You can tell.
Especially when you're hungry, you know, when you're hungry, taking a bite out of something like that, hits the spot.
How fresh the beef is. It's really just like chewy and delicious, and it melts in your mouth at the same time.
Next up, Jim's Steaks on South Street.
What are the best cheesesteaks in Philly?
Yeah, Jim's is the best cheesesteaks in Philly.
Wow.
Jim's is the place
A lot of
for Philly
cheese.
cheesesteak because we've been doing it for 42 years. We know what we're doing. It's the love that goes into making every sandwich.
The way they scoop the meat and stuff, like you can tell they've got it down packed.
Top round Black Angus beef is sliced paper thin and distributed into 30-pound containers. The steak is tossed and broken down into smaller chunks on the griddle.
Jim's is the best place, home of the best cheesesteaks in the country.
What should we get?
It is what it is. It is what it is. And get the trizz up.
Someone's never had a Philly cheesesteak before. I always tell them to keep it simple. So for us, it's whiz, wit, and that's cheese whiz, steak, and onions. And that's all.
The fresh roll then gets dressed with a slab of Cheese Whiz.
What's Cheese Whiz? Is that a type of cheese? Like, is it, or is it just melted American cheese?
Meat and onions are swiftly added on top, and of course, a drizzle of extra Cheese Whiz makes the sandwich complete.
Right off the bat, the cheesesteak is quite messy and greasy, but in a good way.
Oh no, I didn't get you a napkin.
I like how the steak here is like finely chopped, so you're getting more of like a tender beefy texture. The onions are like these nice robust like big chunks with that like melty cheese whiz. It's just like trifecta of flavor. When I think of Philly cheesesteaks, I think this is the cheesesteak that I'm probably going to imagine.
This is the one that everyone's been talking about. This is what I have been waiting for. This is the first time I've ever had a Philly cheesesteak, and this is exactly what I imagined it to be. Just rich, full of flavor.
Just a quick update for everyone. We smell like cheesesteak now. Just we embody.
I wonder how they film this. Do they like eat the cheesesteaks back to back to back, or do they leave like a couple of days in between?
I'm sweating it out my pores. Sorry, that's a nasty visual.
About 25 minutes outside Center City is D'Alessandro's Steaks and Hoagies, our third stop.
Man, so much meat. Lord.
We grew up coming here our entire lives, and this is like the only cheesesteak we've ever known. Other cheesesteaks we've eaten, they're just never been as good.
Each cheesesteak starts with finely chopped.
But they would say that they're the co-owners of the place. Of course you're going to say ours are the best.
Ribeye steak. Up to 40 to 50 pounds of steak can be sitting on the griddle at one time.
Wow.
So when you come in and order a cheesesteak with us, we always recommend American as your first option. It's our most popular cheese. We want everybody to get the true experience. Also, we offer cheese whiz just as an option, although we don't recommend it. That's more of a South Philly way to do it.
It almost looks a bit like a sloppy Joe. Like, I've had a sloppy Joe before. Like the way that the meat that has been chopped up so finely. Yeah, it definitely looks like a sloppy Joe.
I was going to ask you if you would like mayonnaise, ketchup, or pizza sauce on your cheesesteak. It's a condiment that just adds a little bit of extra flavor, although it's definitely not needed.
I love mayonnaise.
Mayo! Interesting. Oh man, I'm so hungry.
We don't need to film anymore. This is my favorite. So the steak here is ribeye, and it's like chopped even finer than a lot of the places we went to. The bread immediately feels plush, and like it's not as greasy as the other places.
I'm gonna start filming myself just going to restaurants, I think, and just eating stuff, because this job here looks fantastic, man. Like,
I thought it was gonna be too much. Oh, but it's so good.
I'm really excited about this one because I love how this meat looks so finely chopped. I totally get how people crave these. I could eat one of these every day.
We're from Utah. We got referred to come here by a friend. Thumbs up.
Our final stop was Pat's King of Steaks. The restaurant is open 24/7, and you can always rely on them to have a cheesesteak ready for when you come. Unfortunately, the restaurant did not allow us to film the...
Nice. Like, this one aesthetically looks like my favorite. I just love the way the steak isn't too, like, you can still see the strips of meat. Yeah, this is my favorite looking one so far.
Making of the cheesesteaks, so we just had to order one.
My initial thoughts immediately are that the ratio of the amount of beef is in here is quite smaller than all the other places that we've been to. Also, the bread is not as soft. Pat's is probably one of the places that everyone said we should go to, so maybe it just tastes a lot better than it looks. It is a good cheesesteak, but I feel...
She's not feeling it.
I feel like I'm a little underwhelmed.
It's what everyone talks about.
The bread does look quite tough, to be honest. It does look quite tough.
As like a go-to spot, but honestly, my favorite. The beef is a little bit dry. It tastes like it was thrown together super quickly, which is like the whole point of this place. You know, the point is you get in, get your cheesesteak, and you get out, and it satisfies that craving totally.
We asked other customers what they thought.
What do you like most about Pat's cheesesteaks?
The history, number one. Just a good quality sandwich. We like Jim's Steaks as well. We wanted to come here because it's a little more famous.
After eating 4 cheesesteaks in one day, it was time for us to go home.
We just came back from Philadelphia.
We almost had to stay an extra night just to recover, but we're back.
And it also gave us time to marinate our thoughts, and now we have a definitive ranking of our...
I think the third one that they had is going to be their favorite.
Preferred cheesesteak place. Do you have a ranking?
Yes, I definitely have a top to bottom ranking. All right, so coming in hot at number 4,
it's
definitely Pat's.
I have to agree with you.
I think it was because we tried so many other great cheesesteaks that day, and that one just did not.
It does look quite thin as well, quite thin.
Live up to like the freshness of the other ones. It tasted like the fast food version of everything else we ate that day. It was definitely the fastest, the most convenient, but it tasted the least fresh.
All right, so number 3.
Jim's.
I agree too.
Yeah, beloved Jim's Steaks. I really liked it. The thing is, I have honestly not a bad thing to say about it. It just wasn't in my top 2.
Jim's though, I feel like it hit all the right points. Everything about it was great. But that was it. If I do have to say one thing, I feel like Jim's is one of those places that tourists and locals will go all together, and it's the quintessential, what did you say? The quintessential Philly cheesesteak.
The thing is, how different can they be? Because it's all steak, cheese whiz, and onions. Like, yeah, one place seasoned the onions with, I think it was paprika, but the ingredients are so few, so it's like they're all going to taste relatively similar. At least I think.
Iconic location, and that to me made it an experience in and of itself.
Look at this guy. He's just...
So number 2 is where we diverge in opinions. Why don't we count down 3, 2, 1 and then say our second favorite. 3, 2, 1. John's roast pork. Why was Del Sondra's second for you and not first?
Del Sondra's was delicious. Okay. I thought the meat was really, really finely chopped, which I understand is
looks good as well.
To me, that wasn't my preference. Now we know why Del Sondra's is my second choice. Obviously, it's your first, so we'll get into that in a second. Why is John's roast pork your second favorite?
John's roast pork is, in a way, the exact opposite of Del Sondra's, because John's roast pork has really chunky, beefy texture, whereas Del Sondra's is like very finely chopped. Everything was fresh to order. But the meat for me, because it was so chonky, I didn't like it.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I think this comes down to a difference in meat preferences.
Yeah, so the reason why Desandres for me was the best is because it was finely chopped. The reason why it was my top favorite is because they added mayonnaise. If you don't like mayonnaise, you can get the Desandres without mayo.
I think, yeah, having the ability to add a sauce, like I would probably have either ketchup or sriracha. Like I wouldn't have mayo. Mayo and steak.
I just want to say that the 4 places we visited were all, I mean, very good places. You guys recommended them. The bar was set very high.
I would go back to each and every one of those places. I was enormously happy all day long.
Insert Philly cheesesteak montage now.
I love it so much.
Man, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like I need to like start maybe going to restaurants and stuff and just filming and just eating and stuff, because whenever I watch this sort of thing, I get so unbearably hungry that I'm just thinking, gosh, I can't wait to, you know, go and raid the fridge, you know, go on Uber Eats or something, order something in. But yeah, those cheesesteaks look really good. I like the meat to bread ratio of the first 3, but I will say that I like the fact that the last place didn't, you know, turn the meat into like a powder almost. They kind of left strips of it. That's why I think I preferred how the last one looked. The bread might not have been as fresh, but I liked how it looked. But yeah, I can't wait to get to Philadelphia and try some of these. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.